Welcome to Channel T, episode 32. I'm here with no other than two guys who know how to have a good time. Quick shout outs. Let me give it to SC91, aka Sam Clips, laying it down with the blades. You feel me? We got Poppy Los Angeles, most poppin' taco place in Los Angeles. Get your churros, get your tacos, get the consomme, get it poppin'. We got Makeup La Vie, Miss Caitlin Williams. You know, she's laying it down. One gal in the town. She wears the crown. That's it. MakeupLaVie.com, at MakeupLaVie, and Caitlin Diaries _Caitlin Diaries on Instagram. And we got Day One TV, aka Day One Media, aka the homies Enrique, Matt, and George. Shout out. We got Concept Collective. We got everyone. You know, thank you guys. I love y'all. And today's a special day because, you know, it's good vibes and it's a great time. We have two guys who started their own podcast. Not only is it, you know, I don't even want to call it educational because I might bore you guys, but it provides great knowledge in a great, relatable way. And no other than Johnny Tran or Johnny.
Oh God!
Well, no. What was it? Hold on.
I'll give you 10 seconds. Hit it. 8, 7.
It's Tran the Man.
That works.
But
yeah.
it's
that
but
works.
it's it's not J Tran the Man. Oh, DJ Tran the Man. No,
No.
J Tran the Man. J
Yes.
Tran the Man.
Yes.
And we got DJ Dan of Trans World. Not trans as in transsexual, but trans as in like Johnny Tran.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Trust me, bro. That happens
Yo,
a
So what's
lot.
up, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's
Yeah,
going
we're doing
on?
fucking fantastic, dog.
Oh my goodness.
We're doing fucking fantastic.
Yeah, man.
Oh
Thank you
my-
so
Yo,
much for
was
having
that
us on.
intro off the top?
Dude, that was everything here is off the dome.
Was that off the top? That was off the top.
This is all off top.
To be honest, man, just because you stuttered, I actually stutter in normal life, so that was probably the best intro I could have had to explain me.
I call it flavor. I call it flavor.
I wanted to get
I
it
call
right,
that
bro.
sauce.
I
I call
wanted
it
to
sauce.
get it right. I fucked up.
No, you're good, bro. You're good.
But we're here.
yeah,
And you know, just like, you know, why don't we give it some time and let's give some soft intros for the people who don't know you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's explain who you guys are.
yeah.
So let's start with
100%.
Mr. Johnny, Mr.
Okay, what's
Johnny
going on?
Tran the Man.
What's going on? Hello, everybody. My name is Johnny. I born and raised Northern California. Went to school, college in the Bay Area.
Bay
San Jose
Area.
State. What's up? Go
Hit it.
Spartans. And then came down to LA right after, exactly 1 month after I graduated. Been living out here, hustling out here, trying to make a living, trying to experience LA for all that it was. And I've definitely seen some shit. I must tell you. You know, I may tell you tonight, but I most likely won't because I don't know you yet. All right, so it's gonna take some time for me to open up.
Oh shit!
Oh my goodness.
How do
Yeah,
I
bro,
follow
get that
that
deep.
up?
Get that
How
shit
do I
deep.
follow
Pass it
that
to my
up?
man.
How do I follow that up?
But I got to introduce my other co-host of Trans World. We just randomly started a podcast a couple months ago, and it's been a really good time. I really want to introduce my co-host, DJ Dan. What's up?
What's up, y'all? My name is Daniel.
DJ Dan.
Hit it. I have been. I was born and raised in Japan, actually. I was born there.
I wish I had that sound effect on.
I was raised there till 4th grade. I moved to Sacramento, California, and went to high school there. After that, I moved down to Southern California. I went to school at UC Riverside, a place probably close and dear to your heart, actually, because you're from the Inland Empire.
Yes,
kind of, right?
sir.
Yeah, 100%.
Where?
Where in the Inland Empire?
Yeah.
Do you live?
No.
I don't know where you live.
No. You
But
don't
I-
know Eastwell. It's okay.
But you know, it's fine. It's fine. I went to school at UC Riverside.
UC Riverside. UCR.
UCR.
I mean, that's honestly if someone says they went to university and it's in the IE, it's UCR because there's like
Yeah, definitely.
you ain't going to Cal State San Bernardino, like you ain't going to University of Redlands. Like UCR is the shit. So
That's where I went.
Okay,
That's where
okay.
I went. since then, I lived in San Francisco and I lived in Los Angeles. I moved down to Los Angeles about what is it 6 years ago?
I was like
Oh,
five.
Five?
It was like five.
Snap.
5 years ago.
Oh,
And,
snap.
You know, we've just been trying to fucking make it, dog. And like that's like the hustle, that's the dream. We're just trying to figure out how to make the paper and how to, live. Really.
Yeah.
Dude.
Right?
Do more than just the 9 to 5 because I feel like past couple of years, you know what I mean? Like right out of college, like I'm sure you get it, bro. Like I went to school, I'm like, yo, I gotta do this, man. Make my parents proud and shit. I gotta get that 9 to 5, right? I gotta do some good inside of the general society in general. Gotta be a good player, and all of a sudden, you're just not feeling satisfied, and then you gotta take some more risks, So we started putting out podcasts, started to do new stuff. I've told you, I dabble a little bit in music, got my own little studio, and then for some reason we just happened to trip onto a podcast. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, like we just tripped onto it. Like we
Well, that's-
never thought about it.
That's kind of the shit though, right? Because
Yeah.
like we had been partying one night, and then we came back to his apartment, and he was like, "Yo, I got studio shit, right?" And I was like, all right, well, why don't we just start recording it? Let's record what the conversation looks like at 3 a.m. in the morning,
Bro.
and just see what's going on.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, bro, we have these conversations all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like we learn something from each conversation we have. Why not give it the opportunity to make some money, make a podcast, record it for people who need to learn something?
Yeah, and honestly,
that's
it's
it.
just like a fun time to do it. Honestly,
Yeah.
Like, every time I do it, it's just a good time. I always have fun.
How many times have y'all been like chatting up and you're just like, dude, that would have been a great podcast.
That would have
A
been
lot.
great. This, that, yeah,
Bro.
A lot. A
Yeah.
lot.
Dude, that's great. That's
Yeah.
so phenomenal. Like, how long have y'all known each other? Because I mean, this seems like, did you guys meet in the Bay Area? Did y'all meet down here?
So I had a family member of mine, right? My little sister. She went to UC Riverside. At the same time, my best friend from my hometown in Modesto, California, if you know where that is, I would visit UC Riverside a lot. So I never went to that school, but I was like there for the major concerts. I was there for like the major parties.
Spring
you know what I mean?
Splash.
Oh,
my
you know,
God.
motherfucker.
Bro, I've been.
Yes, Spring Splash, Heat, all that shit.
I hope you didn't
I've
see me.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
I
yeah.
hope you didn't
We've
see
been
me.
there for sure, but I've just generally clicked with that vibe over there.
Yep.
And it reminds me a lot of like my hometown, just a little bit bigger with a bigger college.
Wow.
So I had a lot of
Riverside.
friends. Yeah. So me and Daniel met there, and he actually moved to the Bay when I came to LA, and then he came here. Probably like 6 months after I did, and then we've been intermittently hanging out ever since then, growing together.
mean,
growing together. Yeah.
That's when we bonded though, right? Because like he came down to LA, and then he was here for like I don't know 3 months before I came down, and so we both came down at the same time, right? And so like we were like going through that struggle.
Yeah, that LA like getting used to shit struggle.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's like
for
it's like
sure.
that. We don't have any money, and we have nowhere to go. We have no
Yeah.
friends struggle.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's that shit that we went through.
damn.
Yeah, for sure. Because I came down here and I had enough money. Like when I first moved out of college, I had enough money saved up to live for like maybe 3 months, like a hard 3 months. You know what I
Wow.
mean? So I was like, I got enough rent. I got enough like money for like shit food. You know what I mean? Just like the basics to eat.
And no fallback.
Yeah, and no fallback. And I was like, if I don't do this shit in 3 months, I'm gonna fucking pack up my shit and just go home back to Modesto and just fucking live with my parents and
Damn.
shit. So fucking.
But like, were your
finally found a
parents
job.
like supportive? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know how it is. You guys are first generation for
Yeah,
sure, right?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how was the dynamic with your parents?
So
like,
we're- so, like-
moving everywhere type, you chasing your dreams type.
We're both from the Central Valley, right? So like Tran was from Modesto. I grew up in Sacramento. I grew up with 6 kids in my family. So like we didn't have money growing up,
Yeah.
right? So it was like on me that I wanted to move down here,
Wow.
right? So like it was a risk. So like at a certain point in your life, you say like, you know what, you got to take risks to like make it, right? And that was part of like the methodology and ideology behind like why we wanted to move down, right? Or
Yeah.
why I wanted to move down.
Yeah.
And probably similar to you too.
A little bit. I feel like I had a calling. I like knew I wanted to come to LA before I got out of college. So like,
I didn't.
Wow.
So like probably like 2 years into college, I was like, you know what? I think I've been in NorCal pretty much my whole life, right? So like from born to like 23, like living in NorCal, school in the Bay Area, just like living in the Bay Area culture, the hyphy culture when it was popping. like all that party culture. And then I was like, I feel like I need to go to SoCal. I feel like I need to get to the other side of California.
Yeah.
See how the other side of California is living, and it's completely different. It is not the same. Yeah.
Man, the dynamic
Yeah.
is insane, bro. I think maybe like I'd say like Bakersfield up, dude. Just a change in vibe. Like, you know what I
Complete
mean?
change in
It's so noisy down here. Does that like make sense? Like, you know what I mean?
100%
It's
it
so
does.
just like
I'm aware for
everything's
sure.
buzzing. You know what I mean? And when you
Yeah.
go more north, it's more like tranquil and calm, but like it also
Rural.
can be noisy
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's cool. I mean, like, you guys embody the entrepreneurial spirit where it's like, dude, if you don't take risks, like, if you don't feel uncomfortable, how are you supposed to grow in life? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's great.
That's a mantra, actually.
Yeah,
Right.
and I feel like that's where we resonate. I feel like that's where, like, we really clicked when we met each
Yeah,
other because
definitely.
it's like we're all on the same type vibe. It's like we're trying to hit that, like,
Do something with our lives.
you know,
what I
we're
mean?
trying
not
to
just trying to live.
we're trying to create a legacy rather
Yeah.
than just like, conform or be complacent in some sort of standard lifestyle. You know what
I mean, I hear that, right? But like Tran saying like, I don't want to, or like, I'm trying to move out of this like conformed lifestyle. I'm like very much entrenched in that, right? So like I work like a very much like an 8 to 6 job, right? Like I'm a project manager for like a B2B software company,
Yeah.
right? Very busy, very much entrenched in like a schedule,
Yeah, the routine.
the routine,
Yeah.
right?
No, we all are, bro. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, bro, the whole I feel like the overlying factor is that regardless of what you got to do, we're making stuff happen that other people aren't.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's more we might have that 9 to 5. Dude, I work 9 hours a day too. Like, and that's my normal schedule.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's not like I'm a manager or anything. I'm like, that's 9
regular
hours a day.
job,
What's
yeah.
popping?
Yeah.
And even driving on the freeway, bro, like, dude, lines guide our life. And there's like hundreds of other people driving on the same highway trying to get to the same general area to work 9 to 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Routine as fuck,
Yeah.
bro.
I hear that. I hear
But
that.
what separates us, or like what like kind of brought us together, I should say, is our hope and inspiration to not only own our own time, but more so not live under like how many of your friends are still at home in your hometowns, like just like working local
Bro, I'm
jobs?
telling
You know what I mean?
A
It's like
lot.
I'm sure you guys relate
lot.
on the same level.
All right, so what's funny about your question, right, is that like the Inland Empire, right, in the Central Valley of California, Modesto, Stockton, Sacramento, etc., very similar actually.
Wow.
There's actually probably more things similar about the Inland Empire and the Central Valley than are not.
It's like
similar.
ultra suburb type vibe. Like you're
You
you're
have a lot
lo-
of space. You have a lot of space.
You're not only okay, like geographically, okay, you might be close to whatever main cities there are.
Yep.
But you're like limited in terms of like, okay, there's no like entertainment source here. There's no like, I can't be a stand-up comic in Modesto. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
You can't. You
Well,
cannot. Be a stand-up
the
comic.
similarity that drives it is that people get stuck, right? And so in Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, and the IE, people get fucking stuck, right? So they graduate from high school and they say, you know what? I didn't get into a good college. I'm going to go to the community college route, right? They get stuck there for 5 years, 6 years. What fucks them is they buy a car. They say, you know what? I'm going to fucking buy a car.
Or have a kid.
Or have a kid. Más o menos.
Is there a difference?
What?
Más o menos. I
Yeah,
love
I
that.
wash my car more often. You're right.
Yeah,
Right.
right. They have a kid or they buy a car, right? And they're stuck. How the fuck do you get out of that?
Yeah. I wanted to just say, like, I don't think it's really fair to say, like, oh, those people didn't go the same route as we did, because we deal with some hard shit that other people don't want to fucking deal with, bro. Like, people don't want to deal with the shit that I gotta deal with all the time. Every time I tell someone I live in LA, they're like, how do you deal with the traffic? And it's like, I can deal with it. I can, I don't really care because I don't complain about it. I always get where I'm going. I never just not get where I'm going. Like, if you're trying to make it to the other side of LA, you can get there. It'll take some time, but you will get there.
It's a fucking
You know what I mean?
mindset, dude.
Yeah,
It's a
so,
fucking mindset. So, like,
Yeah.
the reason why they're asking you those questions is because they're not willing to do it. They're not
Yeah.
willing to do it. They don't want to get out of their fucking comfort zone.
It's security rather than the risk. Like
Yeah.
you take risks or you feel secure. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people die. People are conditioned to feel secure and to find secureness within their actions, bro. Man.
In environment.
Yeah, like, you know what I
Right.
mean? And what's crazy too is your environment shapes you, right? So I'm sure you two might have met some, like, it must have been one person, maybe a couple people who've changed your life, kind of like molded you into who you are today. Like, there's that one character, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Because people get stuck or they move on, and like it depends on the pathways you choose. You know, but like you guys were saying, kind of like, you know, you can't knock someone down for that. Like, you know what I mean?
Of
It's
course.
like it's just like
It
their
wasn't
course
our
of
route,
life. Yeah, it wasn't their
our
route.
It wasn't our route.
Exactly.
It wasn't my route. But you know, and our route's not for them either. For
Well,
sure.
well,
I can't,
you know what they say, right? Is like if you're born and you experience the same things as someone else, the likelihood that you end up in the exact same spot is about 90%. Right? So if you're born into that environment and you experience the exact same things, the likelihood that you end up in the exact same spot that that person is in is around 85 to 90%.
Bro, that's how you get that. All these girls obsessed with astronomy and astrology and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if you're born within a certain month and like you're all from the same general area, you know what I mean? You're gonna be growing up together. You're gonna be experiencing the same type of weather together as you get older. Around the same time, bro. Like you become similar. Like you conform to their, not only their like the community. It's like a tribe, right?
The
Like
thought system.
The tribe mindset is a real
Yeah.
thing. It's a real thing.
So when you get out, okay, this is kind of like I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna pop you guys with the next question.
Okay.
It's more so like it takes a tribe to raise a child type vibe. You know what I mean? It literally like there's so much information to be received by our brains. I mean, nowadays it's different because these kids have phones and they have iPads and stuff. But when we were kids, dude, it was like all dependent on who your neighbors were, who you played outside with, who you rode bikes with, like who were your friends in school. You know what I mean? And like nowadays, the tribe mindset's gone digital. You know what I'm saying? So
It
that
has
leads me
gone
to like
digital.
my next question. It's more so like, do you feel that starting a podcast and getting your voices heard is sort of our way into this new age where literally, because bro, like, I mean, I study cybersecurity, like I'm in IT. Dude, everything's going to be digital within the next 10 years. Do you think that like getting into the podcast game and stuff like that is kind of, you know, making our way into the general accepted knowledge? You know what I mean? Do you feel like everything's going to be consumed digitally? Or do you feel like these people are still going to be conditioned by their environment and stuff like that?
I think it's like a half-half, right? I think that some people are going to be able to deal with it in terms of like the cyber world becomes their reality, right? So some people get really into it, right? Say like a kid who gets really famous on streaming, right? He just gets enamored in it. You know
Happens
what I mean?
all the time,
dude,
bro.
You know, money, right? A community who's continually talking to you, saying they like profess their love for them and shit. You know what I mean? Like, and not only professing their love, giving them fucking money, right? Not just fucking like, oh, hey, like, you know, have a good day. It's like, yo, here, hey, have a couple $100, a couple thousands, you know, win tournaments and shit. And all of a sudden, like, they're just engulfed into like the influencer life, right? Doing, you know, you gotta do media shit, you gotta do
All
vlogs,
that, bro, all
you gotta
that.
do the fucking gaming, you know, and interviews, like all that shit. And all of a sudden, like, they get just like burnt out and shit. You know what I mean? And you see, like, I think it was like earlier this week, kids getting caught up with just being banned from like Fortnite, and it's like this whole controversy. All of a sudden, it's like I don't give a fuck. Well, personally, I don't give a fuck, but like for a lot of people, like they, you know, they like live and die, breathe Fortnite. You know what I mean? So like it's crazy on that level. But I think
How many of them shot their pants when the first chapter went down or whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
when the Fortnite went down before they announced the release of the new bro,
season, or whatever. Yeah.
Dog, you're
Yeah.
right, bro.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
people get really into that, but I think there's a whole other group that we personally won't see just because they're not on the internet like that. They don't intermix with like the know of the internet, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
like the wave of it. A lot of people just stay on the beach, bro. They don't want to get in the water, bro, for sure.
Wow.
I know a lot of people like that don't want to stay on the internet, who don't have Facebooks, who don't put up Instagram posts, who just like, it's email, work, and then phone numbers.
Wow.
That's it. No social media, because a lot of the times it's straight garbage. And it's true, bro. It's true.
It's just
Yeah,
just
all
brainless.
day.
Yeah,
all day.
But then like, okay, but to be fair, I feel like that population definitely exists, but it's a minority. You know what I mean? Not because of it's just the result of society being conditioned to like follow what the Kardashians are doing, or you know what I mean? Like this whole social media game. It's like CEOs and like other executives from these companies have left because of the direct affiliation with brainwashing, bro. You know what I mean? Like the act of scrolling with your mind and your serotonin levels is like, what the, like you're increased, like you feel happy, yeah. Like you know what I mean?
I think it's aspirational.
Yeah.
Right? Like so, like the posts that people put up, it's like what your life wants to be. But
Let me pause that real quick, dude. It really depends on who you follow, right? I feel like that's where you're going.
100% it does. But if I'm going to take your question personally, I think like why me and Tran got into the podcast game, because we felt like we had something to say that would bring value to people's lives, right? And so we got into this shit, right? And we said, you know what? We have like some life value from the fact that like we moved here, where we came from, what we've been through, that can help someone else out. And so why not talk about it?
Yeah.
And why not record it? Why not put it out there? And a funny thing about like when we put it out, right? And what we started talking about early was like, we don't want to get trapped in like this Asian American bubble that exists, right? I don't know if you're aware about that kind of stuff, but like, it's like,
all day, bro. I mean,
it's like you can get really trapped in that bubble of like, oh, you're an Asian American like content contributor.
where
right.
like it only matters to those who
like we don't want to be that. We don't want to be that. And so like we've made like a really I think like concerted effort to like move away from that we started early on.
Wow.
And like not talking about it. So if you listen to our like a podcast progression, right? As we put stuff out, we started out kind of being trapped in that. Like first 3 episodes.
I don't want to say entrapped in it. I want to say that like we wanted to make sure that we weren't just fading away from it, because there's like we're not distant from it.
You addressed it.
Yeah, we live that life. We know what's up, but we also see other shit that's equally as crazy for anyone, for in any race at any age, that like is crazy to see. So we want to make sure that we get the same experiences, and then at the same time we're still bringing on other Asian guests that don't really go with the traditional sense of what it means to be an Asian person. So like we do that, but because we know people that are just great people in general. That's what makes them people, is they're great. It's not because they're Asian and
exactly.
Great,
it's not about the ethnicity.
Yeah, and like why does the media always have to like trap us in this bubble?
Right.
Like trap us in this little box, right? That says like, okay, well, like you're an Asian American, so like you're gonna like react and live in this little box.
Like you come out with something good and they label it as like, oh, like Asian American,
Asian
like,
podcasters,
whatever.
coming out,
yeah,
bro.
Immediately.
Yeah,
dude, I feel that so hard, bro.
Fuck that,
dude.
Fuck that. Because you and both of us, you know what we are? We're Americans.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who you are or what you are or where you came from.
He's basically saying the fucking premise of Trans World right now.
And
like he just plugged us. Trans World, what's up?
I want to reiterate because like I feel like you relate to this shit too,
bro. All day, it's like, bro. You look at because the fact that we're first generation and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You look at the people who aren't first generation, and when you come in, even just interact with them off mic, it's like, dude, they have so many questions. Like, they feel like you're a different person. It's like, bro, I was born in Long Beach. Like, I've been here my whole life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, there's definitely a lot to show, and there's definitely a lot to say in terms of like what our experiences as Americans.
Yeah.
Not being conditioned. Because like, okay, to be quite frank, I feel like this is kind of like I haven't heard this idea elsewhere, but more so like you look at the black people or like African Americans and you look at white people, bro, like they both have existing, they're both kind of the same. Okay, maybe like the black culture started way later due to like slavery being a thing, but at the same time it's like their roots are here. Like they're
American.
They're like we're American too. You know what I mean? But I'd say they're more so like deep rooted into like they don't know, bro. They don't. It's not like they go to like Africa to visit their family. Their family's been here for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Same with the white people, right? Like they don't know that. Half of them don't even know like, oh, I'm Irish, I'm Scottish. Like some people don't even. I'm just white. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with us, in our experience here, it's like we have the values from, you know, both parents, wherever they're from. And we also, growing up here, we've assimilated to the American experience.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're not abandoning our culture at home, but we're blending it with our current most, you know, American values. And that's what makes your guys' opinion, and our opinion so, I feel, more valuable because it's like, dude, we've gone through trials, tribulations, you know, stereotypes, all that shit. And there's people here like cruising through life, not even acknowledging the fact that people like us exist, or like not even acknowledging that our opinion is there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna relate it back to perspective, right? And I think like everything that you bring to the table is based on perspective. And so like the perspective that you bring based on being a first or second generation person that lives here is that you're seeing things through a different lens, right? And so like having that experience is actually really valuable because what you see is different from what other people see based on their roots.
And feeling is the biggest thing.
And feeling,
because okay, a white guy and a black guy, okay, like they're not gonna feel the same. Like, okay, maybe a black guy in terms the black racism is different just because it's so hardcore, bro.
Yeah.
Like in terms of us, bro, I don't want to say they fear us, but you know what they don't know, they fear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they automatically assume,
or they try to stay away from it.
Or they try to stay away. Yeah, bro. It's like the moment they hear I'm Middle Eastern, they're like, wait, what? Like you're white? Like how are you? Like you're not brown? Like
they ask you if you're sure.
They have a general idea already of what you are. So when you act the way you do and you vocalize your ideas that are, you know, not only, I wouldn't say revolutionary, but more so kind of like
controversial.
Not even controversial, bro. No. Like innovative. You know what I mean? It's like
different. I think is the key, right?
You know,
so like how you look at things and how you portray things is different.
They're not gonna guess that I'm Palestinian Muslim, bro. Just the way I talk, like I talk like I'm some like
from America,
you know, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, we offer. That's the value we provide, right?
Yeah,
that's like the value.
But that's the key.
Yeah, the value, bro.
But that's the key, isn't it? Because like everything that we want to do at Trans World, right, is like we don't want to be pigeonholed in this Asian American circle or box or however you want to put it. What we're saying is that we bring value, period, regardless of where you're from, what you know, and what you have been raised in, right? And it's like our perspective and what we see, guided, it's different from what you see, right? Based on us being from a different place.
Yeah.
But what we see is bringing value to your life.
It's an expose rather than like a synopsis, right? Like you're not arguing for your argument. You're not saying like, I need to be heard. You're just saying like, yo, this is what I got to say.
Exactly.
And like they get into like, oh, he's from here, like he does this, like you know what I mean? That's cool, bro.
But
like,
it doesn't necessarily matter.
Yeah.
And that's my point.
It's more so your voice gets heard, right?
It doesn't necessarily matter for them to understand all of your backgrounds. I think the basis of the show is saying that like this is what I see, period. And whether you relate to it or not, I don't necessarily care, because the whole point of us having the podcast in general was this is a segmented time and long form where I can talk to you about things that I care about, period. Right? So this is what I see. This is what I bring to the table, right? Whether or not listeners connect to it, we don't really give a fuck.
No, and we've said that multiple times. Like
I don't
like
give
talking,
a fuck.
But the thing is, like, after we're finished fucking recording a podcast, like, we feel good. You know what I mean? Like, we're fucking pumped up. We're like, yo, that was a great podcast. We start talking,
bro.
Talking to each other. And then how can turn it up, baby.
Real quick, let me just touch on what he said. It's kind of like, yeah, bro, we don't give a fuck regardless, because we're generating the content. But at the same time, it's like we're not negating the value of what we have to say.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because like when you don't give a fuck, it's like, yeah, I said what I said. No, it's not what I said. What I said is great, and you should hear it. But I don't give a fuck if you don't have the channels to hear it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because that's life.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, bro. But I
Yeah.
just wanted to like.
Oh, you're
I
totally
think,
right.
I think it's more than
totally
that. I think if you don't have the capacity, to connect to it, then you're not my audience.
Yeah.
And I don't care
Yeah.
whether or not you listen to it and you connect to it or not.
Yeah, it's okay if you don't like it. Like, like
That's
totally.
fine.
But like, you still gotta acknowledge who I am when I walk into a room.
We're
like, you know what I
here.
mean? So like,
We are
yeah,
here,
exactly.
bitch.
Yeah.
And we're gonna fucking stay.
Hell yeah, bro. No,
Oh, man.
it's what's crazy too. It's kind of like for me, right? Like my
Yeah.
backbone of starting a podcast was more so like I'm good at talking to people, whether it's a homeless guy or a CEO or whatever it may be. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have the same conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna tune in to those human roots,
Yeah.
the primitive kind of like
Yeah.
socialist or social constructs.
Careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That was a big jump, bro.
Careful.
Whoa. But, it's great because at the end of the day, I feel that especially, okay, like media nowadays is so like artificial, bro.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course it is.
So
I've listened to your podcast, bro.
Yeah,
I've listened to a
bro.
couple of your podcasts,
Dude,
bro.
yeah. Yes,
I must say,
exactly,
he hasn't
bro.
recognized it yet, but I was his most recent subscriber. Just today, made it official.
Bingo.
B-I-N-G-O, 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 and bingo was his name.
Oh, okay. Wait.
But yeah, man. So the fact that whatever it may be you're deploying, whatever information you're deploying, just this is why I love having people who have a podcast,
Make stuff.
have an
Our-
outlet,
our content creators and stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's more so like we're able to talk about this and give them insight rather than just like go off on like,
Some tangent.
You know what I mean?
Or a
This is-
specific topic.
This is value, bro. This is like hardcore value.
Yeah.
So you know what? Let me like turn the tables, bro, because I feel like as content creators, as a specific podcast creators, we have a lot to say. You know what I mean? So let's create that data in the cloud that's gonna generate some views, and you know what I mean? So like, bro, when it comes down to like entertainment, when it comes down to what's popping on the Twitter headlines, like what do you guys choose to put on your podcast, and what do you guys kind of like neglect in terms of we're not going to take time to cover that?
I'll hit that first.
Okay, yeah. Hit that first.
We don't pay attention to it at all. I don't really care about what's trending. I don't really care about what's topical. I think what we care about is like, who can we bring on that brings value and who's a subject matter expert on what we want to talk about, right? And so even if it's not trending, right? Like we talked about acupuncture 2 weeks ago. That's not trending. That's not trending at all. But it's holistic. It's holistic measurables and holistic view on life. Is that trending? Possibly, right? But who we brought on was able to talk with confidence, right? And talk with confidence on the subject that we wanted to talk about,
Yeah.
right? And so that's what we really look for, is like, who can we bring on that's going to be able to bring value to a specific subject, and me and Tran can like talk about like why they're able to talk about it that way.
It's not more so what's popping, but it's more so, wow, this vape just changed my voice, bro. This is insane. It's more so not what's popping with y'all. It's more so what's popping with us, and we're gonna tell y'all how it's popping.
Yeah, and I think the whole thing is like, we've lived here for a long time, bro. We've done some cool shit. We've met some cool people.
We done some cool shit, bro.
Real talk. And I don't gotta fucking lie about it. You know what I mean? Like, I could probably make up shittier stories. You know what I mean? And if I told you the truth, you probably wouldn't believe me. I can't tell it right now because it's not PG-13. It's NC-17. You know what I mean? So
And Triple X.
but yeah, it's some dirty shit we've done. I mean, I just don't want to get into it real quick, but when we do bring people on, I just want them to bring some type of value, something that they can talk to about, but that something that we're interested in, right? And we didn't really I like to ask questions that aren't just the basic shit. You know what I mean? I don't really like the elevator talk, right? I don't really like that small chit chat shit. Like, I like to get really deep, and like people who I can just kind of tell want a real answer, right? People really want to hear something that's real rather than just hearing some like what you do today, you know, what's your routine like, what's your life like,
Yeah.
you know, what are your issues and shit. It's like, I want to hear about what do you think about when you're not like in a huge struggle or in a huge thing. Like, what are you normally thinking about through your day and day?
You know what my take on is that? You know what my take is on that? It's more so like you can bring whoever on, right? Like they might be a specialist in some industry, but dude, you know, it's like me as like a hella extrovert. I'm very good at analyzing people, like whether they're introverts, whether they're extroverts, whether they have the energy to reciprocate. Because, you know, I'm very high energy, bro.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, it hit me on the face earlier.
Super high energy, bro. And I'm very good at analyzing how much energy to give to like certain individuals, you know?
Yeah.
So when I bring someone on in terms of like, you know, we're going to talk about clothing today. We're going to talk about, you know, free market or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You know, you can't like... You can
overpower.
You can hit, not even overpower, bro. You can hit them with questions, but like it's really hard to force.
You can't control a guest, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's so
You can't
hard.
make them
you
do
can't
what you wanna
force
do
things out of
at
them,
all.
bro.
No,
Yeah,
not at
you know,
all.
I ask questions that are kind of more so like not like. I mean, y'all feel the vibe.
You're fishing,
Yeah.
bro, and you want them to take a bait on something that they want to eat. for
And
sure.
instead of being reeled up, they're more so just like swimming with the bait. Like
Yeah.
they don't even know. So I love your guys' answer. I try to do the same thing, but I find my trouble in that is that I can't control. I'm more so navigating the guest, and they're not following. Like, you know what I mean? They're not giving. They're not reciprocating
the level.
the
I think
level.
I've
I'm
listened
hitting
to a
them.
lot of your podcasts, and I feel like for you, you're so high energy that like sometimes it puts your guests in like a compromising position. Right? If I want to be honest, if I want to be like
No,
completely
that's
honest
great.
with you,
That's
right?
great.
Like,
Yeah.
Some
it's like,
guys like, yup, that's true.
That's
like-
what it is, bro.
like sometimes you're like so right here, but this person really operates here.
They're the
Right? Like,
I
this
find
person
myself
operates right here.
I find myself like breach. Like I'm the Trojan horse, right? Like
Yeah.
I can't find any breach in their wall, so I send in that like gift, right? And I just explode within them.
Yeah,
Bro.
What we've had a lot of success in is like, as opposed to like sending the Trojan horse in, is like we want to ask them and like discover who they are, right? So like as opposed to like being like, okay, I want to ask this because I want to know this, right? You bait them into it.
Yeah, but you know what it comes down to? Okay, like for me, a lot of the time, it's their first time on a podcast. It's just because like, bro, they love me, they respect me. They're like, hell yeah, I'll come on your show, bro. And then like they freeze, like they're not the same person
Yeah.
that they normally are.
That happens.
You know
that
what I mean?
happens, yeah.
So,
Absolutely happens. Yeah.
So the baiting is great, but at the same time, it's like, bro, half the time I'm like, before the cameras even roll, I'm teaching them like how.
To speak.
Yo, like not even
Yeah.
how to speak. It's just like, you know, hey, make sure you project. Make sure, like, bro, this is gonna be homie vibes. Like, you feel me? They're just reserved the whole time, just like
It's because they don't realize that this is public speaking. This is actual public speaking
at its peak, bro.
At its peak, because you know that regardless, somebody eventually is going to hear this shit, right? And it's probably easier for us to be on here, and it's probably a little easier for you because we're reciprocating in probably the manner that you want. Just because we've done this a couple times, we have to tell our guest, right? Hey, man, try not to like tap a table or fucking fidget your knee and shit, you know, and like just make a whole
Stop
bunch of
moving,
backwards-
you're making the mic work. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it happens, but you know you got to deal with it. And
You know what's
it's part
crazy
of the
too?
process.
I've had a guest like literally tell me like, "Yo, stop the cameras."
why?
Dude, they were we weren't even going live, bro, and they were legit nervous,
Anxiety.
bro. Because I used to go live. I used to broadcast on Periscope while like during, you know what I mean, so
Uh-huh.
we can get live questions and stuff. But I stopped that, and bro, yeah, during that time I had a guest, bro, and he
not
was
feeling
on the
it.
Steve Harvey show, like. You know what I mean? Like he already had, but at the same time, it's just the lights and everything made him nervous, bro. And
Yeah.
like,
He was the main guy on the spot.
You know what I
right?
mean?
Maybe that would change. You know,
I mean, long form. I feel like podcasts, like the greatest value that it brings is long form, right? And like people aren't used to contributing in that manner, right?
Yeah.
It's 15-minute segments, it's 10-minute
Yeah.
segments.
but you know what? It's you know, okay, maybe like on the corporate side, like the Hollywood side.
Yeah.
But I feel that like, okay, this type of environment, dude, I've had guests where it's like, oh my god, it's been an hour 30. That felt like 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I
absolutely.
mean?
dude, you
So-
have a great time. That's why. It's because you're having a good time.
It truly
you're fucking
depends.
flowing.
Yeah, it truly depends on the person, bro,
Yeah.
and like their vibe and how they're vibing with you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like it's great to have, like, this whole time I've had guests who haven't had or done podcasts, and like I have people who have their own podcasts. You know what I mean? It's just so great to have this conversation, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? So what I wanted to get into too is like as far as material goes, you know what I mean? Because I mean, for me, I based it off of like what my guest does. You know what I mean? And I mean, you guys just got guests, incorporated into your segments and stuff like that.
Yep.
But my question to you is more so like when it was just you two, like what's kind of like, what do you guys base, like do you guys come into agreement on array of topics, or is it one topic?
Okay. Yeah. I'll hit this one. I think when we first started this, right, it was definitely like me and him, we came back from a club, and our other friend, our third party friend, mutual friend, was like, I want to do a podcast about dating. And that's when me and Daniel were like, oh, we don't really know. Like, we don't really care. But I was like, I got the equipment. Let me bring it out right now. Brought it out ASAP. Started recording. And then me and Daniel just take over the conversation. We're just running the whole conversation. The first couple podcasts that we put out,
Trash.
Garbage.
Trash.
Straight garbage.
You know why it was trash?
Audio quality, garbage. Our topics, continually repeated. You know what I mean? Just like garbage. Garbage in, garbage out, right?
And
we're drunk.
Garbage.
And we're like talking over each other.
Yeah.
And like you're singular, like podcast person, right? Like you do it by yourself.
You're the main guy. Like
When you got two people,
plus or 3, 4, yeah.
it's so because like you want to, like, you hit your point, like you want your point to make, right?
Yes.
And you talk over the person.
Yeah. And,
Right?
And so we had to learn that the hard way. It took us a long time to figure that out.
And that's when it's
really.
just like you two, or like when you guys have a guest as
Just
well?
us two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just
and
us two.
and then we started practicing. We started doing a couple more. We tried to like force the topic, and then it got kind of shitty again.
Before
You know what
we
I mean?
excel, it's more so like I feel the podcast game. It's mainly like either the one person bring a guest on, or like the two people talking, and like once in a while they have a guest.
I think,
you know what I mean?
I think for now we're probably gonna honestly stick to more guests. And me and him have talked about this. Like,
wow.
Like, yes, we have a lot of value, but like somebody doesn't want to hear me talk for a couple hours. You know what I mean? Like, I can only tell you so much, and if you want to hear more about me, it's like a podcast might not be the fucking way to tell you more about me.
Yeah.
You know, like no one cares what I gotta say for 2 hours, bro.
I think it's the softer part of me, which is like we based it on metrics. So I was like, yo, the podcasts where we brought guests on have skyrocketed in terms of like the traction that we got.
What's like your method of advertising your episodes? Like Facebook, like
You know, we only do Instagram right now.
Yeah, we actually did a little bit of Facebook. One of our first episodes. I haven't
because
made.
I noticed y'all had like 60 plays like when y'all first started.
Yeah, dude, our first episode got like 100 something plays. So
Bro.
100 something, and we were feeling pretty good about it.
And it was continued.
That was
Yeah,
through
for sure.
Instagram.
All through Instagram.
All through
and we-
Instagram only.
and we just like do a lot of posts. I make sure that I like when we think we have a really good episode, right? You know, like we don't always like try to like talk to the same people that we know that listen to it, and we don't like bother them too much and like try to make them do shit for us, you know. But like once in a while when we have a good episode, we'll be like, hey, we're gonna post something. Can you like repost it for me? Can you like share me? Can you do this? Can you do this? And we try to get them involved too, because they, you know, they're your really good friends, and you don't really want to ask them for like money and shit. You know, like you're not asking for support. You're asking for them to do something specific, which is like, hey man, like if you really like it, you know, can you share it? You know, share it for, and you know, other people will share it for no reason, and then I'll repost them, and you know, like try to give them a little bit of, you know, like push and give kind of thing.
It's
So,
been pretty generic.
Bro, I do the opposite.
Yeah.
I don't even ask them shit, bro. You know what I do, bro? It's more so like you want to make them feel like so I mean, I hope you guys feel this way, but I try to feel like I try to make my guests feel like they're a part of the whole process, right? So like what I tell them is not like, hey, can you repost this? It's more so, yo, I'm gonna send you the links, I'm gonna send you the pictures, I'm send you this, and like I leave it on them. And like, bro, I've had like 99.9% success rate of them not even telling me like, hey, I'm gonna post it right now. They might even post it before me sometimes. You know what I mean? And it's sometimes to the point where like you kind of build that bond where, you know, like the whole like the meme where it's like link and build.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
But
like
it's true. It's true
you're
story.
linking and build, bro. I try to. So what I've kind of like kept off camera.
Yeah.
is more so like you guys are gonna be added to it. I make a group message, bro, with every single guest I've had on my show. Anyone who's been affiliated with Channel T, I have an Instagram group message. It's called the Channel T Mastermind Group.
Okay.
And bro, it's like a network pool, bro. It's like
you just hang out, yeah.
You might find your next producer, your next like
right.
you
That's
know
dope.
your
That's
next
dope.
like graphic designer, e-commerce guy, whatever it may be. Like, dude, I have everyone from every profession on this show. So like, what I don't try to like force the clout shit, you know, because you know, honestly, bro, what it is, like you gotta aim for the homies with clout. Like,
Yeah.
that way you get your voice heard, you get your shit shared, you know what I mean? Whether you're asking them or you're not asking them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it's a mix of both because some people, like, I know that they won't necessarily think of it.
yeah,
Because-
you
because
have to do
remember,
it sometimes. Yeah.
I'm from NorCal, right? And like a lot of the people out there, I don't know if you know, but they're not as like focused on that specific type of marketing that is accustomed to like Los Angeles. Like everyone here is like all about the clout, so like they know what other people, even if you're not about it, like you see other people chasing it, right? In NorCal, it's not the same. Like people aren't just like with their cameras out and shit. Like,
Oh,
you know,
bro,
like,
it's
people,
way
you know,
more
like-
modest up there.
Yeah,
for
way
sure.
more modest and shit, bro.
I
Yeah.
know that, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, and you know, like, just kind of like bring it back to the whole question thing. Posting my audio and like posting my video and like seeing the analytics, it's like, bro, you really do have like a set dynamic of, you know,
People
a
coming in.
demographic. You know what I mean? So my next question to you is like,
Hold on. Before we get this, I gotta use the restroom real quick.
Oh.
So yeah, before I piss my pants inside this podcast, that would be a first for sure for Channel T.
follow the man in the white shirt, bro. Follow the man in the white shirt.
A few moments later.
Oh,
know?
it's 6.
You want to hear my best dad joke?
Huh?
I don't know if I do.
What
After
do
the
you
Dill joke.
call a cold reptile?
A reptilian.
Oh, that was a good guess. That was a goddamn good guess. What is it? Hit it.
A blizzard. I'm hurting.
I'm hurting after that one.
Would you like my answer or his answer?
His answer.
Oh, okay, for sure. Get the fuck off of Trans World. Your shit got excommunicado, bro.
Podcast, bro.
You're not no John Wick.
You ain't no John Wick. You ain't slicing necks, bro. With axes.
You can't cut me out, bitch.
All right, but you know, guys.
Yo, someone fucked with my drink earlier because I did not pour my fucking soda into my drink. So one of you motherfuckers poured all my soda into my drink.
The fuck you talking about?
Trust me, dog. I know what I'm talking about. That shit was full as fuck.
Drink it.
And that was
Listen,
not.
guys, listen. You know, we did have some great conversation. I want to get into some other things, if you guys don't mind.
Okay.
Hit it.
Where do you see Trans World in 10 years?
Ooh, 10 years. Damn.
Not even the 5 years. In the 10.
That's a
years.
jump. That's a jump.
In the 10 years.
Dude, if we're still going on with Trans World in 10 years, it's time to end, bro. Future Johnny, turn that shit off. What the fuck are you doing? 10 years? How many seasons you need,
Bro, what if it
motherfucker?
becomes a network? Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro.
Yeah, but then we gotta, obviously, dude.
What if it becomes a media conglomerate?
Yeah, then I would probably be doing podcasts not weekly, for sure, not monthly.
I actually
I'd probably be
texted
doing it quarterly.
I texted Tran about this like last week, right? And I was like, "Yo, you know what? NPR does not hit a market segment like we're hitting right now."
Okay, but like, okay, what's the big picture?
What's the goal?
here,
Okay,
bro?
what's the goal?
Where do you guys want Trans World to go?
In 10 years, I would like it to be like a pinnacle of like a big start for us, right? So like, I don't necessarily think about it as a media conglomerate, right? I would say that, maybe we start out as our own podcast, kind of develop the brand further. Podcast isn't the only thing I'm doing, right? So like, it's one of the main things that's the most outwardly inclusive, right? Like it's probably the biggest like insight to what the way I'm living and who I am and the kind of people that we interact with. I don't think that it's going to be the only thing that we're going to be doing the next 5 to 10 years. I think that if we really do get deeper and deeper into the media, into producing short films or producing fucking music, hosting events, having larger merch. You know what I mean? Being part of that real game where we can actually find ways to make more change rather than just doing like our basic shit just to have fun. You know what I mean? Like I would like it to become something new that it lives on its own for sure. That with or without me,
it molds into like the mold creates.
Yeah, exactly.
Other
I want this to be
ventures.
our foundation for
Wow.
sure.
It's a start.
Yeah,
It's a start.
It's a
No
start
doubt,
to
bro.
what I want to do in the future. What Daniel wants to do in the future. I think it's it's somewhere where
It's Pornhub.
It fits. It fits. Shit. If we're visited as much as Pornhub, we'll be making fucking racks by then, for mills by then, because Pornhub got mad views.
Racks,
Mad views,
bro. But that's beautiful. It's it's a journey, bro.
100%. 100%. Journey.
I wanted to give you guys the floor. I want you guys to talk about what you guys got going on. Maybe you guys want to shout out. Maybe y'all got a project y'all be working on right now. Like what's on the hot seat with Trans? Let's start with Daniel, because because this is like the man with the secondary plan that affects the main plan.
Yeah, dude, he's got it. He's got it all. Yeah, bro, he's a smart guy.
Dan Tran.
I think
Not Dan Tran. We are not married. I just want to throw that out there real quick.
I think we both started on the project, like the Trans World project, just because we felt like we had a voice and the voice deserved to be heard. Regardless of race, regardless of where you came from, regardless of who you are as a person, we felt like we brought value to the table, and everything we talk about on the podcast circles back to value add, right? Are we able to bring value on the subject that we're talking about? Who we're talking to, right? And the conclusion to the conversation as well. And I think in terms of like a future project, or in terms of like what we want to bring this to, we're starting with small goals. Honestly, we're not thinking about 5 years in the future. We're not thinking about 10 years in the future. We're thinking about next week. Honestly, and like that's kind of where like my mindset is. Like I'm not thinking about 5 years from now. I'm really thinking about like next month, right? What can we bring to the table next month?
That would not be the same for me.
Which is fine too.
Yeah. I
right?
100% think 5 years future. I always think of the cool shit that I would like us to do before we do it. Right. I would like us to start getting more involved with just regular everyday YouTube people type of shit. You know what I mean? Getting involved in bringing out the real in people, because I feel like that's one thing that I feel like Trans World has done really well. Right. Is like when we bring a guest on, like the acupuncturist that we brought on last week, like we asked him a couple of questions and he revealed shit to the audience that we had, stuff that he doesn't need to talk about, like like he doesn't he can just talk about his business, he can talk about whatever, but he decided at no point in our involvement he decided to say, hey man, I fucking love marijuana. I've been smoking it for a long time, and I just recently took a break, and I want to make sure that I do like a 1 year hiatus before I hop back onto it. Because like it's California, man. When you meet some people that smoke weed, they fucking smoke weed. They smoke every single day, 10 years straight, and I've been probably, for the most part, 90% of the past like decade, I've been like lightweight high. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's not even an exaggeration. You know what I mean? Like I used to count how many blunts I had per day.
Lightweight.
You know what I mean? Like
Dude, that's such a
bro.
Bay Area like.
hell
I think,
bro.
I think it was the reason why he quit.
Yeah.
That was the most valuable thing to it.
Yeah.
Right? Because like he said, like I quit because this was numbing me. Right? And like I needed to face why I was smoking weed
Wow.
every single day, as opposed to like just kind of like go with the flow.
So
Yeah.
you guys are looking for you guys are not
Substance.
You guys are not only like creating substance, but you're more so absorbing the value of each episode and looking to morph that into whatever beast it becomes.
Yeah.
You guys are like, not, I don't want to say fishing, but you guys are like, exploring your guys' wants and needs and your guys' creative side.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the platform that you guys are doing. That's fucking raw,
Yeah,
bro.
man. We just want them to feel comfortable, and I feel like
Yeah.
that's and even our
But
first guest.
it's not
and
even
shit,
them. It's about you guys too, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you guys solidified your platform, and you guys solidified what you guys expect out of it and what you want to give your guest. And whether they feel that or not, it's on them. But that's what I feel out of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So I know you guys feel that out of Trans World, bro.
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
dope, bro.
Definitely, man.
Did
Thank
you
you
guys?
thank you.
I mean, you're filming. I mean, like you have a YouTube channel for Trans World, right?
Not really. Actually, we don't have we don't. I just got a mountain of footage on my computer. I ain't done shit with it. Real talk. No lie. I got like
Wait, so
hours,
you guys are just
you know,
posting audio?
Audio.
Through
audio,
Anchor?
audio, and we throw a little video here and there.
I've
into
seen like what is that promo?
snippets,
Yeah.
snippets and stuff. But like we try to.
We're audio
I'm-
only basically right now.
I'm still learning, right? So like doing the video stuff is really hard.
When
as
did you
well.
guys start? Like 2-3 months ago?
Middle of August. Probably.
Middle of August,
or,
right?
Or early August when we really put out like our first episode.
Bro, we're gonna
That was
have a
really
great
new.
talk
Yeah.
about this afterwards.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Like we just started it, and it's come so far in literally just two months. That's pretty much it. Literally 2 months, right? And it's just crazy to think about how far we've come and like how much we've grown already in just 2 months. And so right now, like where me and Daniel are at, we just know what we want to do. Like we have such a more cemented path than we did before. Like before it wasn't paved. Me and Daniel were just shooting the shit.
You know when you see things like really clearly, right? Like when like you're looking at your life and you see things and you're like, okay, this could fucking work, right? Or like I see this path clearer than anybody else can see
Bro,
it. who that's looking on
thankfully,
the
right?
outside,
Thankfully you see it that way.
right? That's where we're at right now. Is like we can see this thing and we're like, okay, like the path is fucking paved in brick. Like if we just walk down this path and I see this path very clearly, we can get to where we want to go. But we just got to continue doing what we're doing right now.
Let me tell you guys something, bro. We started this January. We did our first podcast January 25th, 2019. Bro, within these 10 months, bro, not even a year.
Yeah.
Within 10 months, bro, we've had someone on from the Joe Rogan podcast. We're about to have someone who has that blue check mark.
Verified.
Yeah,
Verified.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're like, and we've taken over downtown Santa Ana with a charity event. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, bro, you guys are in the pocket right now, and anything can be pulled out. Like what the whole point of, taking these risks, right? What we were saying in the very beginning, like we're risk takers. The whole point of taking this risk is to not only chase what you visualize for yourself, right? Because you see those clear endings, you see the pathway with clarity, which is a blessing, bro. In itself, is a blessing. You know what I mean? From my experience, bro, to you guys is just definitely keep that clarity. Never forget that clarity, but also remember what you want out of everything, bro. What you want out of this, because, bro, that's what makes this whole thing is. It's built upon your experiences. It's built upon, your future endeavors, bro. So chase them, dog. And do me a favor, guys. Look to the camera. Let these people know your final 2 cents. Let them know where to find you guys, because it's, audio only. Let them know the link. We'll post it for sure. You'll see it right here, in a couple of frames and shit. But yeah, take your 2 cents, bro. Let these people know what Trans World's all about. Like, this is the floor right now.
Who you first, bro? Hit that up.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You can find us. We are called Trans World. This is Johnny Tran, host. Daniel Dianich, host. You can find us on Anchor. You can find us on Instagram, Trans World Podcast. What we're trying to do at the end of the day, right, is we're trying to bring value, right, based on our perspectives and what we've been through in life to what you go through every day, right? And regardless of if you see things the same way that we do, what we're trying to do is say, hey, we've been through this shit, and we want to provide value in terms of what we're talking about and what we want to bring the guest on for, right? So if we brought you on, right? What we want to say is, okay, who are you, right? What's your background, and why are you the way that you are, right? And we don't want to get pigeonholed in Asian American bullshit, right? And this little circle or square that you want to put us in, right? And we're saying, like, we bring value past that point. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to join Tran on this journey of, like, let's put this podcast out, see if we can get traction on it, and see if we can provide value to those that listen to us every single day.
Yeah, man. Thank you for so much for having us on. You can find me Instagram, Johnny Tranderson, like Anderson, but Tranderson, Tranderson, Johnny Tranderson. Yeah, you know what? Anchor has been really helpful for us. I really want to do a plug right now, but that's just what it is. Starting a podcast, having a good time with it. We just have so much to say. I feel like me and Daniel are very opinionated people. We have a lot to say that might go against the grain, even for most Asian people in general. So I feel the way that I describe things and the way that I view things isn't necessarily the way that people expect me to be. And even the way I talk, even how loud my voice is, which I've been told is very loud.
Truth.
Me, like, I'm a loud person, and you don't really get that a lot. So I don't really embody the traditional person who's like the Asian one who just went to school and just went to work. Like, I would go to these. I was a part of like some nonprofits back in the day, and I would just go to these nonprofits, have these really good meetings with all these old people and shit. And I come back in my car and I just bump some YG and shit. Start bumping some Tyga. Got bitches twerking in the dollar bill. Yeah. All that shit.
Dollar bills, y'all.
And you know what? You realize that like you have a lot to say to some people, and people may want to hear what you got to say. So like I've been really happy to be a part of something that we're not just trying to tell people our story. We're trying to hear other people's stories. We're trying to make sure that people feel comfortable and can get really deep. And everyone that we brought on, we get real deep. You know what I mean? Like we gotta take a breath afterwards. We're like, whoo, like, let me fucking just breathe a little bit, because that shit was deep. And there's nothing better than getting some deep shit when you don't expect it. You know what I mean? Like, like, wow, like that shit just hit me. So if you want to hear some deep shit, Transworld, anchor.fm/transworld, TRANS world. Transworld, baby. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Gentlemen, it was more than a pleasure having you guys on the show. I mean, I didn't even feel like this was like an interview. It was just more so like
It was a good time. That's all it is.
chippity choppity, getting the soppity.
Yeah.
Be sure to follow these guys at Transworld. We'll be posting, all their handles and stuff like that. What's your Instagram, Daniel? You didn't shout your Instagram out.
Dianich, Dianich.
Dianich.
That's it.
Yeah. But thank you so much, Channel T,
Hey,
bro.
man.
I had a good time, bro.
Listen.
Thank you for having us. We're fucking neighbors, bro. I should be here more often, bro. I should be here more often.
Listen. I tell this to every guest. My platform is your platform. Whenever you guys got some things you guys want to promote, whenever y'all got some big projects rolling, come through. We'll have a great time.
Okay.
We'll get it popping, bro. You feel me?
Yeah,
We had a
that's
great
what's
time
up.
this time,
Yeah,
dog.
bro. We had a good time.
And it's going to be a great time every time I have y'all on. Guys, make sure you visit them. You'll be see all their information in the description below. This is Channel T, episode 32. And it's...
Hit it, baby.
We out here, baby.